Ohayo. Welcome to the So Japanese podcast, a podcast where we talk about all things uniquely Japanese. We are your hosts. My name is John.
My name is Ryusuke.
Thank you for joining us again.
Thank you.
Today, we are going to talk about Japanese car culture.
Oh, nice.
And we're going to have another Omoroi news segment.
Omoro news, yeah.
And Japanglish. So 2 segments today in addition to the topic.
Yeah, please stay tuned.
Yeah, please stay tuned to the end. Japanese car culture. I want to say internationally, Japanese cars are one of the more famous things about Japan, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So first, we'll run down some car brands, some Japanese car brands. I'm sure everyone knows.
Everyone knows. Everywhere.
Right?
Yeah.
Toyota, Honda, Nissan,
Mitsubishi. Yeah.
Mitsubishi is a bank too, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they own everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Subaru, Suzuki.
There's a Daihatsu too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Lexus.
Lexus is the how can I say?
Toyota?
Yeah, part of Toyota, but
the
luxury version of Toyota. Yeah.
I know the luxury version of Honda in North America is Acura.
Yeah.
Do you guys have that over there?
I see some, but not really common.
Okay.
But yeah.
And obviously, compared to North America, you guys drive on the other side of the road.
Yeah.
And
so left side and right handle. Yeah.
Growing up, being into cars, getting car magazines. I remember that I would go to Pacific Mall, one of the Asian malls here, and we would pick up like Japanese street racing DVDs.
Oh, really?
Like
I didn't know you
DVDs.
actually into car.
Oh, kind of.
I mean, all the
never had a nice car. But yeah, if you're like, I want to say it's common for boys growing up to like cars.
Sure. Yeah.
And Japanese cars were always cool because the way that you guys modified them, right?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I had a bunch of mini car, the car toy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we call mini car. I don't know how you guys call Hot
Wheels.
Hot Wheels, yeah.
Yeah, I think Hot Wheels is like a brand of the car toys, but I think any small car
they call Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
We call mini car or Tomica. Tomica is the brand basically.
Too, right?
Yeah, Hot Wheel. But yeah, I had a lot.
Yeah, back then reading the magazines, it was always like JDM, which
I didn't know.
means Japanese domestic market. So cars that were from Japan. So I feel like you were either into like the American muscle cars, like a Corvette or a Mustang.
Powerful.
Yeah. Or you're into the JDM cars, like a Lancer, Skyline, GTR, Supra,
Impreza.
Yeah. Let's quickly talk about getting a driver's license in Japan.
Yeah.
So in Canada, you have a written test, like a first driving test, and then after I think a year you can take another driver's driving test to get your full license. In Japan
it's different. It's totally different.
Okay, so
because in here, I mean, in Western culture, like you said, if you get the first license, which call here No, it's
G1.
not M. G1,
It's
right?
like a learner's permit.
No, G2, no?
No, after
G1, G2,
G1, G2, and then a full G.
Yeah.
So after the written test, you have G1, which is your learner's permit, which allows you to either practice driving with someone that's have their license for a certain period of time, or go to school, and then you can take your first driving test, and that's just on the road. It's not on the highway, but it allows you to practice on the highway, and then you can take your G2 test to get
fully licensed.
But I think recently, because of COVID, there was a lot of backup. Now, to get your full license, you don't even need to do a parallel park.
Really?
Which is kind of fucked up because it's so important.
Yeah, and it's gonna be more difficult for those people who didn't.
But
practice.
Nowadays, aren't there cars that can parallel park itself?
Oh yeah. There's a system.
I think my sister has a car like that where you just press
the button and then car just wow.
Right.
So maybe you don't need to take serious.
Exactly.
Because
maybe
car
that's
does
why
it for
thinking.
you. Yeah.
So in Japan, how does it work?
In Japan, so there's a school, driver's license school.
Okay.
So you have to go there, you submit, then okay. So if you want to get a car license, you go school like a month.
Okay.
Then it's like same as school. 1 hour you did writing test, not even test, sorry, class. Then the other 1 hour you have driving class.
Is it part of your school?
No.
Because I know in Europe it's also part of like high school.
No, it's different. It's completely separate organization.
So to get your driver's license in Japan, you must go to school.
You must.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not the same in
it's not the
North
same.
America, I think.
Yeah. So like if you go school from home, then you go like a month.
Okay.
But also there's a short version.
Okay.
So you stay some school with the residence apartment, and you stick with there like 2 weeks.
You live there.
So what you do is basically just like taking class, either driving or riding, and then at the end of the schedule, you're gonna take exam.
Okay.
First, you're gonna take exam for the riding. And then next one, you take a writing test for the school, and then driving test, and if you pass, you go back to your hometown, and then they have another how can I say, like an organization run by government, and then that's your final exam.
Okay.
And if you pass,
and the final exam is written as well, and driving.
And no, driving is already done in the school. So like only riding.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the government to give you your full license is just writing. Interesting. And it's like multiple choice?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And it costs you a lot.
Because you got to pay for the school.
Exactly.
Interesting.
My time, it was like $3,000. So 30万
to join the school.
And obviously, if you didn't pass the exam on the school, you have to stay there till you pass the exam.
You got to pay again?
You got to pay again. Extra.
That's good business.
Yeah, it's big business.
What age can you get your driver's license?
From 18.
From 18.
Car from 18. Okay. Motorcycle from 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's also different types of licenses.
Yes. So before then it's no exist, but right now there's because the mission is, I mean, like transmission. A lot of time now you see automatic transmission. So they divided two different
licenses.
One is only for the automatic transmission, or you can drive both. Yeah,
that's like in Europe, I think. So,
oh, yeah.
So with your driving school, if I only want to get an automatic license, I just do my test in an automatic car. But if I want to get my manual license, I do my test in a manual car, which also works for an automatic transmission car.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And in Japan, anyway, for automatic license, it's mostly for female somehow.
Okay.
So if me had automatic license, and my friend's gonna judge me.
Really?
Yeah. It's just weird, but yeah.
And you guys have licenses for different sizes of car, right?
I mean, like if you get the car license, you're allowed to drive smaller car, regular car, also like smaller truck.
Okay.
But my license, because I got my driver's license like 20 years ago.
Okay.
So the law is different. So I could drive till the truck size 8 ton. It's very difficult to explain like how big.
Yeah.
But it's quite big enough, like a regular moving
Van. Okay.
van.
Yeah.
Or like truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now I think maximum is 4 ton. So it's like very small, almost like a van size of a truck.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
I remember before COVID when we went to Japan, it still exists. And we recently found out that it doesn't exist anymore. But they had like these companies, or this one company who let tourists drive like a Mario Kart themed go-kart on the streets of Tokyo.
The street, yeah.
And they would give you like a costume to wear too. So
Mario
you can dress
Kart
up
costume.
as Mario.
Yoshi.
Yoshi. And you can drive on the streets of Tokyo. But that doesn't exist anymore.
No, because they got sued by Nintendo.
So they never got the license to do that from Nintendo, right? I would think that you're no longer allowed to do it because of the laws, like driving laws, street laws.
I thought that way, but actually they got sued and then they have to pay big fine.
Yeah.
And then after that, COVID hit.
Yeah.
So there's no tourists
anyway.
So then what I know is like the business is over.
Okay. So if you're a tourist and you want to go to Japan and you're in Tokyo
and you expect you can drive Mario Kart, sorry man. Sorry. Yeah. But there's a famous circuit. Can I say circuit? Yeah, it's called Suzuka Circuit.
Okay.
That's the biggest circuit for Japan.
Okay.
And they do like F1.
Okay.
And then they do like old racing as well, like 48 hours. Yeah. So like, if you go there, you can definitely try some like racing car or like, I don't know if they have a Mario Kart type of car, but you can enjoy with like driving.
That's in Tokyo?
Cars. No, it's in Mie. So it's
Mie Prefecture.
Mie Prefecture. So it's next Nagoya.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go through some unique aspects of Japanese car culture. One of the most famous parts of car culture in Japan is drifting.
Drifting.
And that's invented in Japan.
Yeah.
Right?
Tokyo Drift.
Yeah. Fast and Furious popularized drifting to the common people. And that's, how would you describe drifting?
Drifting is basically like when you get the corner, you slide in your car.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like a controlled slide.
Controlled sliding to smoothly go over corner.
Is it faster?
It's faster.
It's faster.
Definitely faster. Yeah.
But obviously more dangerous.
I mean, you have to have technique.
Yeah. So if it's faster, why don't like F1? Why don't they drift?
I mean, I think it's different type of car.
Okay.
So I think the grip is different.
Okay.
So with the wheel.
maybe F1 cars, you don't need to do that.
Exactly.
Right.
Or maybe it's too fast to drive. I mean, to drift.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Because
that makes
a
sense.
lot of drift cars, they purposely make the wheel no grip. So like
so they can slide.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So drifting and the Drift King.
Yes.
Drift King. Keiichi Tsuchiya.
Yeah.
He invented it. He's the one who invented drifting, or he just the one that is the best at it?
I heard like he invented. Yeah. He was racing on the street after he graduated school, and I think his first car was Skyline, I believe. Yeah. And he started doing it, and
you mentioned street racing. Japan is known for its street racing, but not like drag racing, right?
No,
That's
it's
like
not
more
straight.
of a North American thing, right?
Yeah.
It's actually driving
Like a race.
like a race, but like in the street.
In the street, yes.
Mostly in like
Mostly in the mountains or harbor.
Okay.
Yeah. Because there's not so many cars, right?
It's illegal?
Of course it's illegal. It's illegal. Yeah.
A manga that popularized that was Initial D.
Initial D. I love the manga.
And
I read everything.
Yeah, it was like drifting, doing the corners.
The main character has the car called Hachiroku from Toyota.
Okay.
And then he was working for tofu small tofu shop. And when he delivery tofu, or when he needs to, he loves driving car.
Okay.
So he practiced with his company car, but that was the Hachiroku.
Okay.
And then he drift by himself, and using technique goes to the side of the bump.
Okay.
And then he purposely put the wheels, one side of wheels on a bump. So the car stuck with that. Then you can also drive and then kind of drift.
So you can whip the back part of the car.
Exactly.
And so he's like, what, the fastest tofu delivery driver?
Even though his car wasn't like great condition.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think he was good on downhill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another aspect of Japanese car culture is obviously like the aftermarket tuning and modifying of like adding body kits, modifying the engine, the mufflers, all these accessories.
Yeah. Put
stickers,
like accessories or wings or changing wheels, oil, everything. Yeah.
And in Japan, they even modify like trucks, right?
Yeah.
Trucks and vans.
Yeah.
The truck decorating is called Decotora.
Decotora. Yeah.
So
decoration truck.
Decoration truck.
Yeah. Decotora.
Decotora.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Japanglish.
Yeah.
And vanning.
Banning. I don't know why they say banning.
Okay.
But banning is basically one box car, and they add they extend the front bumper.
Okay.
And then rear bumper.
So it sticks out a lot.
Sticks a lot longer. And then they also put the wings on top of their bun.
Yeah.
And behind. So from the behind.
Yeah.
To me,
yeah,
my impression was like Gundam.
Okay, it looks like a robot.
Like a robot, yeah. And a lot of time on behind of a car, they paint the famous artists,
like musicians.
Yeah. And then was famous Amuro Namie Amuro or Hamasaki Ayumi, Ayumi Hamasaki. That was like I see million times in Japan.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it sounds hard to drive if it's so extended.
Yeah.
Right?
It's hard. You can't go anywhere. Like small bump, you might gonna stuck because also they roll down their own car. Yeah.
Another one is called bipu style.
Bipu car.
Bipu. So bipu is VIP.
VIP.
Again, for acronyms in Japanese, they don't pronounce each letter.
No.
They try to pronounce the word. So bipu is VIP. To picture that, it would be kind of like, they kind of call them like gangster cars, like Yakuza style, black, low, tinted windows,
big
wheels.
With the luxury car.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's luxury, we think it's VIP. And that's why we call BIP car. Yeah. Some of my friends had it, even though they don't have money. And then sometimes I was like, why you have this car? It's so cool. I'm like, but you don't have money.
It feels like those cars, you don't drive those cars. You hire a driver to drive those cars, right? Speaking of that, taxis in Japan.
Right.
Taxis in Japan, all the drivers wear a uniform. It's like a suit. They wear the hat.
Yeah.
And they wear gloves, white gloves,
white
right?
gloves. Yeah.
And a very good tip when you are traveling in Japan and you're hiring a taxi, don't fucking touch the car doors.
No.
They open by themselves and they close by themselves.
It's an automatic door.
Yeah. So I've been yelled at hardcore by a taxi driver.
Don't touch.
Yes. Especially like when you can touch it before you get in. If you touch it, he's gonna pop the car door anyway, so you know, okay, I'm not gonna touch it. But when you get inside and you try to pull it shut, that's when he yelled at me.
Really?
Yeah. So don't touch the car doors. They're automatic. Yeah. And I even think vans too, right? Vans
everything. Like
well.
if you call taxi and then, or if you catch taxi,
and it's
basically everything is automatic.
Yeah.
And then they
don't touch.
Like drivers even come out and then make sure to hold the door and then let you in sometimes. It depends on the company too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't touch the door unless you want to get yelled at.
And also you don't need to tip them.
Yeah, no tipping. Exactly. Another style in Japan is called kyusha.
Kyusha.
Kyusha, what's that? How's that look like?
Vintage
cars.
Yeah, vintage cars. Like Japanese vintage cars.
Cars. I know they also like American vintage cars, right?
Then we call vintage car.
So Kyusha is for vintage Japanese cars?
Mostly, yeah.
And then vintage cars are American cars. Are American cars popular in Japan?
Yeah. Because my first car was actually American car.
Oh yeah? What brand?
Chevrolet.
Chevrolet.
Chevrolet. Yeah. Astro. It's a minivan.
My dad had that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Minivan here, but it's big in Japan.
Well, even here, it's like a kind of a bigger van.
Yeah, it's big, right?
So that's a big car for Japan. How did you fit in the Japanese parking spots?
Well, you can still fit, but obviously, like it's giddy. It's
really close. Yeah, just enough, right?
Just enough.
Yeah.
And also because it's the different side of handle, right?
Yes.
Steering.
Yes.
So I always have issue when I get the intersection, then I want to turn right.
Yes.
But because of left side, I can't really see everything. So I need to be careful.
Did you have to get special like licensing or okay from the government for getting an American car that drives?
No license needed. As long as you have regular license, then you can buy and then you can drive.
But how about like certification for the car?
No, it's same.
Okay.
Yeah, same. But only the issue for American car in Japan is like the gas, because American car, obviously you spend more money for the gas.
Yeah.
Japanese car is more
gas economy.
How
do you say that?
Gas friendly.
Yeah, gas friendly.
Yeah.
Japanese cars are known to be gas friendly, right? We talked about parking. Let's quickly touch on the different types of parking spots you see in Japan.
Okay.
So I know there's a lot of compact car parking spots, and in the city or any parking lots, I guess you pay by the hour or by the day. And they have like, so when you go into the parking spot, there's like a yellow kind of metal machinery thing that will lift up
under your car
to prevent you from taking your car out without paying, right?
Yeah.
And as well as they have like those carousel parking spots, like underground parking, where you put your car in and then you get out and then
the car
rotates.
Yeah.
And it goes down underground?
No, it's actually go up. So it's called 立体駐車場.
Okay, it goes up.
Yeah, goes up and then so like cars just rotate. Yeah.
To save space.
Yeah, save space.
So then when you want to get your car out, what do you do?
And a lot of time you left the key with them.
Okay, because once it goes up, they're going to park it for you somewhere up there?
No, because like it's just because it's difficult to get in. A lot of time you get there before enter onto the elevator machine. You just get out the car, give them the key.
Someone does it for you.
Yeah, and then they give us like ticket or something. And okay, bye. Then when we come back, give them ticket. They know where's my car, so they press the button. My car come down. They drive us for. They drive the for us. Yeah.
The next one is shakotan.
Shakotan. Yeah.
That's just
it's a roll down car. Yeah. Shakotan.
Another aspect of Japanese car culture is itasha.
Itasha. Yeah.
And that's
it's wrapping up with the anime character, mostly anime characters like girls.
So
like otaku
obviously,
car.
Yeah. So they will wrap their car, the full car, in like an anime theme.
Anime, yeah, and colorful, and also they customize like same as like a beep car, or even sometimes they do like the banning type too. But I think the people is different.
It's different because they're not so much into the speed and performance of the car. They're more for the
they love the character
and how it looks like. When we post this podcast up onto YouTube, we're going to put up pictures of
those cars.
All these cars that we're talking about.
You guys can see it.
Exactly, get a better idea. The next one is Bozozoku style. In part 2 of our eccentric subcultures podcast, we talked about Bozozoku style. But Bozozoku is motorcycles, but they also have Bozozoku style car. The main thing that sets a Bozozoku car style.
They put the muffler exhaust, like super long,
super high up.
Yeah.
Again, we're gonna show you guys pictures once it's up on YouTube, and it's called
Takeyari muffler.
And it's because it looks like a bamboo.
Exactly. Takeyari is basically like bamboo. Yeah.
It looks ridiculous.
It looks really funny and it very noisy.
Okay. Obviously, right? What else does that sets a car out to be Bozozoku car style?
Beep car as well.
Okay.
And banning people sometimes also like Bozozoku.
Okay.
Yeah, but not what's the Itasha? Itasha is different. Okay. It looks all similar, but what they put on a lapping or like the style, I can tell, but I don't think you guys can tell.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it like?
It's like more Yankee style. Like we talk about Yankee and
like a young punk.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like what, like demons and
not necessary. It's like more black or just luxury.
Okay.
And then you can tell by which people is driving to.
And and it's not for performance, right? It's to be loud.
it's just for themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, and then some people even put the big speakers behind, and
I
then
remember seeing that too.
right.
Yeah.
Sometimes they gather on the street. Everybody's open the car back doors and everything, and then play music and dancing or.
Speaking of that, I remember in Himeji, small town, like 250,000 people, and at nights on the weekends, there would be some streets, they would have a couple of cars parked off onto the side, and they would be ladies in those cars, and they're not they're not prostitutes, they're not sex workers, it's just people that want to meet other people. So if you want to meet some ladies, meet friends, to try to court them, you would pull up beside them and then try to just chat them up. But sometimes on the weekends, there would be like a whole lineup of cars waiting to talk to these ladies.
And ladies have the same cars too, right? Same type of car?
Same type of car, like the ones that you just talked about with the big speakers and
yeah,
right. I think more that's like Gyaru style people. That's the Gyaru subculture. That's what they do. The next car culture, Japanese car culture thing is K cars.
K car, yeah.
K means K-E-I.
Yeah. And K means light.
Light, okay. So K cars. If you visit Japan, you live in Japan, and you're from North America, you will notice how small
the K
cars are, or you just can tell that it's like Japanese efficiency, right? So K cars, what qualifies to be a K car is maximum 660 cc. I think mostly around the world, they calculate power in cars by cc's. But in North America, we do it by horsepower.
Okay. Yeah.
So to figure out cc's to horsepower, you divide your cc's by 15.
Okay.
So a maximum 660 cc car, K car, equals to 64 horsepower.
Okay.
So quite low.
Yeah,
quite weak.
as a car.
Yeah. They were built by car companies because if it was under a certain amount of weight and power, it would be cheaper in taxes.
Yeah.
So it'd be more affordable, as well as cheaper insurance for the car. It eats up less gas. So is there a K car license plate?
Yes. So the K car license plate's always yellow.
Okay.
So you can tell. Well, I mean, you can tell by the look, but definitely you can tell because they all have yellow license plate.
And it's a small looking car.
Yeah, it's a small looking car. And then
they're kind of boxy?
Yeah. Like these days, a lot of K cars like a box style. So like it's spacious. It's nice and good space. And yeah, like big enough to go travel 1 or 2 days.
How about driver's license? Is there a special K car driver's license? Okay.
It's as long as you have the regular car license, then you're allowed to drive. Yeah. But I think K car, most popular company is Suzuki. They make a lot of K cars.
Okay.
Yeah, they're specialized for K cars. And a little bit of Mitsubishi, little bit of Nissan. I don't think Toyota is making, but I think Toyota is doing with Suzuki or Daihatsu. I forgot which one. Sorry, guys. I might need to research. But yeah, Suzuki is the biggest one.
So we just quickly run down some fun aspects, some unique aspects of Japanese car culture. If you guys want us to focus on any particular aspect, then we can do a podcast about that. Our first car culture podcast, we're just going to
talk about like
all this
all
briefly.
This. Yeah.
So that brings us to our next segment, Omoroi News.
Omoro news.
Omoroi News. Omoroi stands for omoshiroi.
Omoshiroi. Yeah,
Fun.
means funny.
Fun.
Yeah,
funny.
fun.
So we have a news segment that is fitting to our podcast today. It's popular now for car rental companies to offer sleepable modified K cars.
Yeah.
So like you said, K cars are box shaped and it's spacious. So you can insert like padding. So it's like a full sleepable bed in
Full
the car.
flat and a back seat. Yeah. And then you can put a lot of other stuff underneath of the mat.
Okay, for storage and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it became even more popular nowadays because of COVID. You can't travel outside the country. So a lot of people used it for like camping.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Camping itself is kind of popular in Japan now. And then also the traveling with car or sleeping in the car and then go everywhere in Japan is popular. Maybe like if you guys check on YouTube, there's a lot of videos about like shachu haku.
Okay.
Shachu haku means like sleep in a car.
And do people live in
Some
those
people
cars?
even live there.
in those cars?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're K cars, they're small.
Yeah.
Like in North America, it's common now to people to live in like the big Sprinter vans. But in Japan, obviously everything's a bit smaller.
Yeah. And then those people who lives in the car, there's a lot of like public parking lot. Sometimes you can stay on a service area on the highway, but also a lot of countryside. They have a parking lot with shopping store for their own like particular stuff or veggies or food. It's called Michinoeki.
Okay.
Yeah. So
and you can park there for free.
and you can park there, and they have the bathroom. Sometimes they even have the shower.
Oh wow.
That's why those people always trying to get Michinoeki to other Michinoeki and live with the car.
Oh, so you're traveling, but you're going to
Yeah.
the other one.
Yeah.
Interesting. Just to stay overnight.
Just to stay overnight. Yeah. Or even like again, like somebody stay in car. They just like travel and then find the spot, find the Michinoeki and then get there.
They parking lot hop.
Yeah.
And to rent these cars, it's about $100 for 2 days, 1 night.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and then I read each additional night is about 7,000 yen, so about another $70. The next Omoroi news, I found this funny, is Domino's Pizza in Japan is now offering donburis, rice bowls, but it's the pizza toppings. So you can order a pizza, and then with those exact toppings, you can get it in pizza form or rice bowl form. So Japanese.
So it's like taco rice.
It's like taco rice. Okay, but pizza rice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, taco rice is invented in Okinawa because the American soldiers in Okinawa they were craving tacos. But tacos aren't a thing in Japan. And Japanese restaurants in Okinawa invented taco rice, which is all the taco toppings just on top of rice.
Instead of shell.
Instead of, the shell or tortilla. So it's not that gross.
Yeah, I mean,
If you think about it like that. Because
I
taco rice is delicious.
Yeah. So and I still love rice, so I guess.
So you can get a Hawaiian donburi.
Ooh, that's maybe no. Pepperoni rice.
Yeah, pepperoni rice. It could be.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds like Doria.
Yeah.
Doria is like baked rice,
and
gratin.
bechamel, meat sauce, and cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not too far off.
That's not that bad.
They stole Caesaria's idea.
For sure.
All right. That does it for our news segment today. Our last segment for today is a Japanglish.
Japanglish.
So again, for our new listeners, Japanglish is a segment where we introduce words that Japanese words that were borrowed from English, and the Japanese turned them to have its own pronunciation and meaning. So an English speaker might not necessarily understand those words. So the two Japanglish words that we are going to introduce today are fitting with today's car culture topic, and that's punk.
Punk.
In Japan, punk, so P-U-N-K, a punk. We, in English, we call a punk like a troublemaker. We call them a punk, or punk music, right? But in Japan, it means
a flat tire.
a flat tire. So it has nothing to do with
zero.
Yeah.
Zero. Yeah.
But it means a flat tire.
Yeah. So I'm driving car, and then my car tire got flat, and then I'm gonna say, "Oh, tire punk shita."
Tire punk shita.
Yeah. Tire punk shita.
So your
When it's,
tire got a punk.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing about punk.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the next one is all right.
All right.
All right. So
Yeah. All right.
all right. A-L-R-I-G-H-T. All right. Like, how are you? I'm all right. But in Japan, all right means when the car back up, then someone wants to help you to back up. So I told John, hey, you can back up now. And then you start driving back up, and I say, all right. So you'll be behind my car. You'll be behind my car, waving to back up for my space.
Yeah, it's always one whole set.
Okay.
So the body and then the words, like it's always all right, okay. Like for example, I was working at the gas station. Every single time when my customer comes, even to the front, because like customer don't know where to stop to get the fill. Okay. So we always, lead them like, all right, okay desu.
Okay desu. That's so Japanese.
Yeah.
So it's not just backing up, it's also going forward.
But
someone's helping you direct your car from the outside, they wave and say, all right.
No one all right. It has to be all right, okay desu.
Nice.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed our Japanglish segment today.
Yeah.
To recap, a punku means
flat tire,
and all right
means
when you're helping someone
back up your car.
Their car.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay. So that does it for today's episode. Thanks again for listening.
Thank you.
Again, please share our podcast to anyone you think that would enjoy learning about Japan, Japanese culture, or if anyone, now that restrictions are slowly being lifted around the world, traveling is opening back up. So if anyone is, that is traveling to Japan soon,
and maybe
recommend our podcast to them.
Yeah,
please.
Yes.
So that does it for today.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. ありがとう。バイバイ。